Nobody saw this coming. Not the blogs, not the insiders, not even the die-hard fans who swear they can read between every bar. At exactly 12:07 a.m., a cryptic post went live from both Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. At the same time. No caption, no explanation. Just a black screen with 3 words, "It's done now." Within minutes, the internet went into meltdown mode. Group chats exploded. Streaming platforms glitched from traffic spikes. Fans are shocked because nobody knew what it was. An album? Oh, a diss? A movement? Or something darker? Then came the twist. An unreleased track started circulating on private Discord servers. The record allegedly features both Kendrick and Cole, but not as collaborators. As opponents, trading verses, direct, personal, surgical, no subliminals, no metaphors hiding behind metaphors, just names, allegations, industry politics, and one line that's already dividing hip-hop in half. You chose the throne over the truth. That bar alone sent timelines spiraling. For years, fans dreamed of a joint project. The unity of 2 generational titans. The lyrical summit meeting that would restore balance. Instead, what surfaced feels like a declaration of war disguised as art. And insiders are whispering that this isn't just about rap. It's about betrayal. About a private fallout that started months ago and was kept completely under wraps. Emotions ran high when producers, affiliates, and even family members began posting cryptic messages. The family was left divided in comment sections. Some say this is the greatest competitive moment hip-hop has ever seen. Others say it just shattered the culture's last illusion of unity. Did Kendrick and Cole just elevate rap to a new level? Or did they just break it forever? Stay with me. Because what's unfolding behind the scenes might change everything you thought you knew about this era. By the time the clock hit 12:15 a.m., hip-hop didn't feel the same anymore. It wasn't just the synchronized "It's done now" posts from Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole that sent shockwaves through the culture. It was the silence that followed. No explanation, no rollout graphics, no album pre-save links. Just that message sitting there like a warning flare in the sky. And then the leak hit. A raw, unmastered track surfaced on underground forums before exploding onto social media. The production was minimal. Eerie piano, heavy bass line, no hook, just verses. First voice? In Kendrick. Calm but cutting. He rapped about mirrors cracking when loyalty fades, and brothers turning corporate when the pressure pays. No name mentioned yet, but the subtext felt obvious. Then Cole's voice entered. Slower. Reflective at first, but then sharper. "Don't mistake patience for surrender," he rapped. "I built my lane without begging for a mentor." That line alone had fans dissecting every interview from the last decade. Was this about past collaborations? About leadership in the culture? Or something more personal? Fans are shocked because this wasn't playful competition. This felt layered, intentional, almost surgical. For years, the narrative surrounding Kendrick and Cole was unity, mutual respect. 2 lyricists carrying the genre on their backs in different but complementary ways. They shared stages. They shared praise. They even teased a joint album that never materialized. And now? The energy feels fractured. Insiders are whispering that this tension didn't start overnight. Allegedly, there was a private disagreement months ago during a closed-door industry meeting. No cameras, no leaks at the time. But sources claim it involved creative direction, ownership percentages, and a philosophical clash about where hip-hop should head next. Kendrick reportedly pushed for radical independence. Cole allegedly argued for strategic partnerships to expand global reach. Neither approach is wrong, but ego and vision don't always align peacefully. Emotions ran high when an old interview resurfaced where Cole said, "Sometimes the ones closest to you challenge you the hardest." At the time, it sounded motivational. Now it feels prophetic. Meanwhile, Kendrick remained characteristically quiet. No follow-up posts, no clarification, but his camp reportedly sent cease and desist notices to certain pages claiming to have exclusive details. That move only intensified speculation. If this was just friendly sparring, why the legal energy? The family was left divided online in ways nobody expected. Dreamville affiliates began posting cryptic captions about loyalty and growth. TDE associated figures countered with messages about integrity and truth. No direct names, just tension wrapped in subtweets. And then came the bar that truly split the culture. Midway through Kendrick's verse, he allegedly raps, "You chose the throne over the truth." That line hit like a lightning strike. Fans instantly debated what throne meant. Commercial dominance? Awards? Industry approval? Was he accusing Cole of compromising artistry for status? Or was it metaphor layered over metaphor? Cole's response in the same track felt equally pointed. "I stayed grounded while you chased ghosts," he rapped. "You fighting shadows, I'm building homes." That line suggested something deeper, perhaps accusing Kendrick of being lost in ideological battles while Cole focused on tangible impact. Fans are arguing because both perspectives feel valid. That's what makes this so volatile. Behind the scenes, sources claim there were attempts to prevent the track from leaking. The file was reportedly intended for a private listening session between the two camps, a creative exercise, not a public release. If that's true, then this wasn't meant to be heard by the world. Which raises another question. Who leaked it? That mystery adds another layer. Betrayal within circles. Trust broken internally before externally. Industry veterans are reportedly scrambling. A respected producer allegedly tried to mediate, saying, "Y'all bigger together than apart." But pride doesn't respond well to nostalgia. Meanwhile, streaming numbers for both artists' catalogs surged overnight. Now old collaborations resurfaced on playlists titled "Before It Broke." The narrative that once centered around unity has flipped into a rivalry debate, and not a flashy, loud rivalry. A quiet, philosophical one. Fans are shocked because this doesn't feel like traditional beef. There are no obvious insults, no jokes, no memes from the artists themselves, just heavy bars and heavier silence. Cole finally addressed the situation briefly during a surprise appearance at a small venue in North Carolina. He didn't mention Kendrick by name. Instead, he told the crowd, "Sometimes evolution requires separation." That sentence alone ignited 1,000 theories. Was he confirming distance? Or simply speaking generally? Kendrick, on the other hand, was spotted leaving a studio in Los Angeles hours later, refusing to answer questions. His expression unreadable. That silence feels intentional, calculated. The emotional stakes here are massive. These aren't two rappers chasing clout. These are two pillars of modern hip-hop. If their bond fractures publicly, it reshapes the landscape. It challenges the idea that lyricism and unity can coexist at the highest level. And perhaps the most unsettling detail? Neither side has denied authenticity of the track. No statements calling it fake, no dismissals, just silence and selective appearances. Fans are arguing non-stop because this feels real enough to hurt, but strategic enough to question. Was this a private creative clash that leaked prematurely? Or was it always meant to disrupt the culture? Whatever the answer is, one thing is clear. The illusion of permanent unity between Kendrick and Cole has cracked. And once that crack appears, it's impossible to unsee. By sunrise the next morning, hip-hop didn't just feel divided, it felt unstable. Playlists were being renamed in real time. Podcasts went into emergency livestream mode. And the leaked record from Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole was no longer just a leak. It was a cultural fault line. What made it heavier wasn't volume, it was precision. Neither of them sounded emotional. No screaming, no reckless name-calling. Just calm, layered verses that felt like years of unspoken tension finally crystallized into bars. That calmness is what unsettled people the most. Fans are shocked because this didn't feel like two artists clashing for headlines. It felt like two brothers who had quietly drifted apart and finally decided to address it head-on. And then came the second twist. An industry engineer anonymously claimed the track was recorded months ago, during what was supposed to be a competitive sparring session. According to him, it was framed as iron sharpening iron, a private lyrical duel to push each other creatively. No intention of public release. If that's true, then something changed between then and now. Because once something like that leaks, trust is shattered. Emotions ran high when a Dreamville producer posted, "Some sessions never meant for daylight." That one sentence detonated speculation. Who let it out? Was it accidental? Was it strategic sabotage? Or did one side secretly want the world to hear it? At the same time, a TDE affiliate tweeted, "Truth doesn't leak. It surfaces." That counter message felt deliberate, almost philosophical. The family was left divided in comment sections, with fans aligning themselves not just with artists, but with ideologies. Some argued that Kendrick represents uncompromising artistry. Others insisted Cole represents evolution and stability in a volatile industry. The tension deepened when an old clip resurfaced of Kendrick speaking about protecting the spirit of hip-hop from dilution. That quote, once inspirational, now feels like coded commentary. Meanwhile, interviews of Cole emphasizing ownership, growth, and global positioning started trending again. The difference in philosophy suddenly looks less subtle. Behind closed doors, insiders claim there was a disagreement over a proposed joint project earlier this year. Allegedly, Kendrick wanted full creative control with no corporate sponsorship attached. Cole reportedly saw value in strategic partnerships to maximize reach. Neither position is inherently wrong, but ego plus principle is combustible, and fans are arguing because both perspectives sound noble. That's what makes this so complicated. And then came a line from Cole's verse that started a new fire. "I don't need a savior complex to save the game." That bar was dissected for hours. Was he accusing Kendrick of positioning himself as hip-hop's moral compass? Or was it just lyrical bravado? Kendrick's response on the same track felt equally layered. "I'd rather stand alone than sit at a polished table." That imagery suggests discomfort with industry politics. The polished table could symbolize boardrooms, award shows, elite partnerships. It's metaphor-heavy, but unmistakably pointed. Fans are shocked because this doesn't feel petty. It feels philosophical. And philosophical beef hits deeper than surface-level drama. Meanwhile, streaming platforms reported massive spikes in both artists' catalogs. Ironically, and their rivalry, intentional or not, boosted both brands simultaneously. Cynics started whispering, "Is this accidental marketing genius?" But those close to the situation insist emotions are real. A close associate of Cole allegedly revealed that he felt blindsided by how the leak framed him publicly. He didn't sign up for a narrative war, the source said. On Kendrick's side, someone reportedly claimed he felt betrayed that private creative expression became public ammunition. That's the part that stings. This might not be about bars. It might be about trust. Another unexpected development surfaced when a respected veteran rapper commented under a blog post, "Y'all watching a family disagreement like it's gladiator sport." That phrase stuck. Because for over a decade, Kendrick and Cole symbolized unity at the top. No public rivalry, no competition-driven animosity, just parallel greatness. Now that image feels fractured. Emotions ran high when fans started choosing sides with almost tribal intensity. Dreamville supporters accused Kendrick of self-righteousness. TDE loyalists accused Cole of selling out. The family was left divided across timelines, group chats, and even real-life conversations. And then, during a surprise pop-up performance in Los Angeles, Kendrick addressed the crowd without addressing the situation directly. "Growth hurts," he said simply. That was it. No explanation. But that line alone sent people spiraling again. Hours later, Cole appeared at a small community basketball event and told attendees, "Sometimes the loudest narratives ain't the truest ones." Again, subtle. Again, calculated. Neither man has escalated further. No diss tracks. No interviews breaking down grievances. Just strategic statements that feel like coded messages. Fans are shocked because this is unfolding like high-level chess. No explosions, just moves. And here's the uncomfortable truth hovering over everything. What if this isn't about hate at all? What if it's about divergence? Two artists who once aligned now walking different ideological paths. That's not flashy drama. That's existential. But existential tension can fracture cultures just as powerfully as scandal. Because when the two pillars many believed represented the future of conscious rap no longer appear unified, it forces the culture to confront a question nobody wanted to ask. Can hip-hop have multiple kings without conflict? Right now, it doesn't feel like a simple rivalry. It feels like a philosophical split at the top of the mountain. And the entire genre is watching, holding its breath, waiting to see whether this becomes reconciliation or revolution. By the third day, it stopped feeling like a leak and started feeling like a reckoning. The conversation wasn't just about bars anymore. It was about identity, about who gets to define this era of hip-hop. And suddenly, every old interview, every award speech, every collaboration between Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole felt like evidence in a trial nobody knew was coming. Then came the moment that truly shook everything. A respected industry journalist claimed on a live stream that there had been a private phone call between Kendrick and Cole hours after the leak went viral. According to this insider, the conversation was intense but controlled. No screaming, no threats. Just heavy words exchanged. Allegedly, Kendrick felt the leak exposed philosophy without context. Cole reportedly countered that context doesn't matter once the culture hears it. That single reported exchange reframed the entire situation. This wasn't about anger, it was about interpretation. Fans are shocked because the emotional core feels deeper than rivalry. It feels like disappointment. And then another twist surfaced that nobody saw coming. A snippet from what sounds like an unreleased Kendrick verse began circulating. The quality was distorted, but one line cut through clearly. "I never wanted war, just clarity." If authentic, that shifts perception dramatically. It suggests intention wasn't destruction, it was confrontation. But confrontation can still break things. On Cole's side, a Dreamville affiliate hinted that Cole had been wrestling with this creative tension for years. "You can't compete and collaborate forever without friction," the affiliate allegedly said. That sentence feels painfully honest. Two titans in the same generation, same lyrical class, same respect from the culture. Eventually, comparison becomes pressure. Emotions ran high when fans began revisiting the long-teased joint album that never materialized. For years, it was hip-hop's holy grail. Now, people are asking whether that album quietly died because their visions no longer aligned. The family was left divided in fan communities, with some blaming ego and others blaming growth. And here's where the narrative takes an even more layered turn. a prominent music executive hinted anonymously that there were disagreements over festival headlining slots earlier this year. Allegedly, both camps were offered co-headliner status at a major international event. Negotiations reportedly stalled when creative control over set design and billing order became contentious. That detail, if true, reveals how even subtle positioning can trigger deeper insecurities. Fans are arguing because these aren't petty issues. These are legacy-defining decisions. Meanwhile, Kendrick was spotted entering a private studio session in New York, a city historically aligned with lyrical purism. Cole, on the other hand, was seen in Los Angeles meeting with a group of younger artists. The symbolism wasn't lost on anyone. It felt like both were doubling down on their individual philosophies, rather than seeking unity. Then something unexpected happened. A respected veteran rapper posted, "Y'all confusing competition with betrayal." That line forced a pause in the chaos. Maybe this isn't a fracture. Maybe it's evolution. But evolution can feel like loss when people are attached to an old image. Fans are shocked because the emotional weight is so subtle. No diss tracks dropping daily. No insults flying on social media. Just coded messages and shifting energy. And then, during a small invite-only event in Chicago, Cole reportedly addressed the situation more directly than before. According to attendees, he said, "Sometimes iron sharpens iron. Sometimes it cuts." That metaphor hit hard. It implies that growth through competition can wound as much as it strengthens. Hours later, Kendrick posted a photo of a cracked mirror with no caption. That image alone sent timelines spiraling. A cracked reflection can symbolize fractured perception. Or fractured unity. The deeper conflict feels philosophical now. Kendrick's artistic persona has long centered around introspection, cultural accountability, and challenging systems. Cole's brand has leaned into relatability, grounded ambition, and strategic independence. When those ideologies align, they create balance. When they diverge, they create tension. Behind closed doors, insiders claim there were attempts by mutual friends to arrange a private retreat. No cameras, no phones, to clear the air. But pride and principle are stubborn forces. Neither side wants to appear like they're chasing reconciliation, especially when millions are watching. Emotions ran high again when younger artists began choosing subtle sides. Some praised Kendrick's uncompromising stance. Others applauded Cole's pragmatic approach. The generational ripple effect became undeniable. This wasn't just about two men anymore. It was about what kind of leadership hip-hop values moving forward. And perhaps the most unsettling development? Neither Kendrick nor Cole has outright condemned the leak or promised collaboration in the future. That absence of reassurance feels louder than any diss. Fans are arguing non-stop because it doesn't feel fake. It feels too nuanced, too layered, and too real. There's no cartoon villain here, no obvious aggressor, just two giants navigating divergence under a spotlight. The culture wanted a joint album. Instead, it got a philosophical duel. And that duel might not destroy hip-hop in a loud explosion. It might reshape it quietly, shift its center, redefine its balance. Right now, the unity that once symbolized hope at the top feels cracked, not shattered, but undeniably fractured. And the scariest part? Sometimes fractures don't break everything immediately. Sometimes they just widen over time. By the fourth day, the culture wasn't asking who won. It was asking what was lost. What started as a leaked lyrical duel between Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole had now turned into a philosophical earthquake. Not loud, not chaotic, but seismic. The kind of shift you don't fully feel until everything around you starts settling differently. Radio stations were debating legacy at breakfast. College campuses were hosting open mics themed around competition versus unity. Podcast panels looked like political roundtables. Fans are shocked because this doesn't feel like entertainment anymore. It feels ideological. Then came another twist that nobody predicted. A private listening event scheduled months ago for a charity compilation album reportedly removed both Kendrick and Cole from the lineup. Official reasoning? Scheduling conflicts? Unofficial whispers on organizers didn't want tension overshadowing the cause. That quiet removal spoke volumes. When philanthropy becomes collateral damage, something bigger is happening. Emotions ran high when a well-known producer, who has worked with both artists, gave a rare interview. He didn't pick sides. Instead, he said, "They both right. That's the problem." That statement echoed through the culture like a riddle. If both perspectives hold truth, then reconciliation isn't about proving one wrong. It's about accepting divergence. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, insiders claim there were drafts of statements written, apologies, clarifications, context. None were released. That silence feels intentional. Because once you publicly soften, the narrative shifts from power to vulnerability. And neither side appears ready to relinquish control. The family was left divided not just online, but within the industry. On some executives quietly aligned with Cole's vision of sustainable expansion. Others admired Kendrick's uncompromising stance on artistic purity. The split wasn't loud, but it was visible in booking decisions, feature placements, and playlist positioning. Then came a moment that froze everything. During a surprise appearance at a small poetry event in Los Angeles, Kendrick reportedly recited a short spoken word piece. No music, just voice. And one line stood out: "Unity without honesty is illusion." That sentence hit like thunder. It suggested that whatever fracture exists now may have been simmering beneath the surface for years. Hours later, Cole was seen at a youth mentorship program in North Carolina. When asked indirectly about competition, he responded, "Growth means standing firm in your truth, even when it separates you." Different words, similar weight. Fans are arguing because neither man is villainizing the other. There are no insults, no mockery, just ideological distance. Another unexpected development surfaced when streaming data revealed that younger listeners were gravitating more heavily toward Cole's recent catalog, while older fans leaned back into Kendrick's earlier introspective projects. It's subtle, but it signals a cultural fork in the road. And here's where it gets even deeper. A respected hip-hop historian wrote, "Every era faces a fracture that forces evolution." He referenced past rivalries that reshaped the genre, not through destruction, but through redefinition. That perspective reframed everything. Maybe hip-hop isn't broken, maybe it's recalibrating. Still, emotions ran high when fans began speculating that future collaborations between the two are unlikely. The long-teased joint album now feels like a relic of a different timeline, a symbol of unity that may never materialize. Behind the scenes, sources claim mutual friends are still pushing for a private sit-down. No agenda, no cameras, just conversation. But pride, principle, and public perception complicate even the simplest dialogue. The most haunting detail is this: neither Kendrick nor Cole appears angry. They appear resolved. And resolution can be more final than rage. Fans are shocked because this doesn't feel explosive enough to call a feud, yet heavy enough to call a turning point. The culture built narratives around their unity. They represented balance, thoughtful lyricism without public hostility. Now that image feels altered. The question lingering in the air isn't who outrapped who. It's whether hip-hop can thrive without symbolic unity at the top. Because when two pillars quietly drift apart, the structure doesn't collapse immediately. It adjusts. It redistributes weight. It evolves. Maybe that's what's happening here. Maybe hip-hop isn't broken forever. Maybe it's being forced to choose between coexistence and clarity. Right now, the silence between Kendrick and Cole feels louder than any diss track ever could. And until one of them explicitly says, "We're good," or "We're done," the culture will remain suspended in this uncomfortable space between respect and rivalry. Sometimes revolutions don't come with explosions. Sometimes they come with a leak, a verse, and a crack in the mirror that never fully repairs. So now it comes down to this. Did Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole just push hip-hop into its next evolution? Or did they quietly fracture the last illusion of unity at the top? Fans are shocked because nothing about this feels accidental. Emotions ran high without anyone raising their voice. No screaming beef, no viral disrespect. Just philosophy versus philosophy, vision versus vision, and a culture forced to pick sides without being told to. Was this leak a betrayal? Was it a necessary truth surfacing at the wrong time? Or are we witnessing two legends choosing different futures, even if it means walking alone? And here's the real question you need to sit with. Do you even want unity if it comes at the cost of honesty? Because some people believe Kendrick is protecting the soul of hip-hop. Others believe Cole is protecting its future. And a lot of fans feel like the family was left divided without warning. Now it's your turn. Where do you stand? Did this moment elevate the culture? Or fracture it? Do you think reconciliation is still possible? Or is this the quiet end of an era? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because this debate is far from over and the culture is watching every take. If you rock with deep, unfiltered, culture-shifting breakdowns like this, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. Because if another verse leaks, if one of them finally speaks directly, or if hip-hop officially chooses a side, you already know we'll be right here breaking it down the moment it happens.